Greetings, hello, welcome everyone, welcome to DevChatter. Hi, my name is Brendan, and this channel, obviously, is DevChatter. I will give a quick intro for any of you that are new. First off, welcome to the stream, thanks for hanging out at the beginning to be here as we start. I mentioned my name is Brendan, I am the host of the channel, however, we are at DevChatter a community of developers that are interested in all sorts of things related to coding, not just the things that we do here on stream. So feel free to bring up discussions about any related either programming or just general tech concepts. There are things that all of us are interested in. So in addition to the obvious live stream that you are here watching, we do have other aspects of our community, like our Discord, which I have linked in chat, and there are links down below the stream as well, or video if you're watching this on a recording on YouTube, for example, because our archives are all out on YouTube as well, so you can watch these videos there. If you have questions while we're streaming, feel free to ask them if you're here watching live with us. We will try to answer them, either me or someone else in chat will try to get some kind of a response. If we have a good answer, we will absolutely give it to you. Sometimes questions get asked on here that we aren't going to be able to answer on stream because either there's too much complexity to really dive into, or it's too big of a context shift. So either way, what are we working on today? So we did some things on our last Interactive 7 stream, so I do want to talk about some of those, and I also want to show you some of the cool new stuff. But before I do that, let me get this screen to refresh. I'm going to change our scene and switch us back real fast. There we go. Okay, so when Interactive 7's running, that's the program we're building, this little window is able to have that color on it, which is, as you read the text on there, effectively matching the game styles. So we can change up the color of that. Oh, I didn't click connect. I was like, why didn't that change? Oh yeah, the bot's not connected. I have to tell the bot that it's supposed to connect to Twitch. It doesn't just do that by default because someone might not want it to automatically connect. So that will match in the game what that is. We're not going to work on menu color styling, but I figured I'd show that because I do kind of want to get the idea across to anyone that is new here that we are taking chat commands and affecting a game with them. So I am going to load up the game because we're going to be doing something, we're going to do a little bit of exploration today. We're going to try and figure out how to do something that we haven't done before. So messing with new stuff, which is always fun. So today we will be diving into enemy status effects. So something we have built already, which I will show you first. Here's the game. And when I load it, you'll notice that the menu colors are not right. But if I refresh, you'll see that it will then set the colors to whatever the current settings are, and I can do random and they'll change. And if you're watching, notice the window up there and the window down here are both changing. So chat has control of these menu colors, and we can just manipulate it to be whatever we want. Wow, that is a really nice one. I like that one. That's really good. I clicked random and I got a menu color that I really like. Okay. So, the commands that we're going to be looking at are affecting the statuses of the characters. So let me just run in here and get us into a combat really quickly. And once this combat starts, then we will... yeah, how do I code? Yeah, exactly, Gamzoli. How do we affect the game? I'll talk about that. So I will explain what we're doing, because it is actually kind of crazy. So first off, let me kill one of these enemies. Whoops, I have a slash. Where did I get a slash all materia? I apparently saved something I didn't intend to save. Slash all steel Whoa! I was really messing with some stuff. I didn't realize I had saved these. I must have been testing something. Wow. I'm just going to reset. And I'm going to load a different game. I've apparently been messing with that one. Where's a good one? Here we go. Reactor number 1. Right at the beginning of the game. Okay, so we're just going to get into a regular battle down here at the very beginning of the game. Random battles. I gotta run around in circles until we eventually get one. Okay, here we go. So first off, my characters are going to die if I don't do this. So I'm going to go ahead and apply regen to them, which is going to refresh their health. And then the next thing I'm going to do is get rid of the enemy in this combat that is actually going to hurt us. Yeah, that's the guy in the back. Who actually probably isn't going to hurt us because we're a little bit... with regen going, no one should really be able to do much to us. But I want to have only one enemy because I think that's going to help with figuring this out. Okay, so we're down to one enemy in that combat. While the screen's not focused, the game actually is paused. So everything's still loaded in memory, but the game is not like running its game loop when you don't have that window active. So actually, I'll show you. Here, watch. So I'll just click out of the screen and you'll notice everything just stops. Like nothing is moving. You don't see anything changing on the screen. I have another window focused on my computer, so everything has just kind of paused. So you'll notice that my characters are glowing red, and that is because they have the regen status applied to them. I could also, say, apply the haste status to them, and you'll watch when I do that, in chat it's going to say that it applied haste to each character. So it's going to say, like, haste applied, and you'll notice they glow differently and they started moving a little bit faster. So that's, like, the haste status effect. So we can affect the characters, and for anyone that is wondering how we're doing that, we're doing this in the craziest way you can, which is we are accessing that process, so this process right here running in Windows, and finding the location in memory where those values are stored, the status effects of the characters, and changing them live while it's running by just manipulating the memory of that game. So we are just saying, hey, that game's running. I happen to know where it stores those status effects. I'm just going to change them, and boom, status effect changed. So, yeah, Fuel Snable, that's... If you change the wrong stuff in a program, though, you can really mess it up. So it is kind of crazy in a way. House Basook, yay! First off, welcome to the stream, and thank you very much for continuing to be subbed to the stream. We love having you here. Hopefully you're able to stick around for the stream today. Okay, so the way that we did those status effects is through our status effect command, which right here, it's a little messy, but it gets the job done. Basically, what we do for this command is we check the current status effect of the character. We check to see whether they're allowed to receive the status effect, so we check to see if they can have it. We check to see if they're in a special condition in the game that would make it so that they should not be able to receive any statuses, because things would get weird. So we check for that. We check to see if the character's dead, and we check to see if they already have it. So there's a few different conditions that we need to handle. Those are just in there for now. And then we say, yeah, okay. And then we take care of it, based on whatever you requested that we do using the command. What I want to do is slightly different right now. So I want to take this, and you see this little guard here, this guy? I want to make it so he gets a status effect. So I want to find out who that guy is and how we mess with him. So let's have a look at the code that is currently monitoring all of the statuses of all of the players, characters, and the enemies. There is actually a process, this is through our Sang Monitor class here, that is running in the background periodically, just watching for the statuses of everything going on in the game. So this is just constantly reading the game's memory just so that we know what's going on, so that we have the information available to make all the right decisions. So let's have a look. I want to go to, what is it, Battle Actor, I think is what it's called. I think it's Battle Actor. This does have a status effect, so this will show me current status effects, but this I don't think is actually the one I want. Might be close enough, though. Let's see where did we create this? Opponents, yes. So when we create the opponents, we do get actors on the opponents. Who calls this to read it? Oh, I do when I'm checking to see if the battle is over. Okay, so get actors. Gamzoli, yes, I did. That was a while ago now. Quite surprising and sad as well. We have lost too many prominent people in our developer community in recent years. Okay, so let's check our stack trace. I want to see where this is coming from. So this is doing a party right now. Actually, maybe I should go here. I'm going to try to catch it up here if I can. So in order to do this, I'm going to need to try to apply a status effect. So I am going to say haste all. Now, the reason I did haste is because when I do a status effect, I check to see if the combat is over. And when I do that, it checks all of the opponents. And so that's why we did this. So this is going to check to see if the combat is over. And since the opponent's collection is null, it is going to create it. Hey, Mr. Shoji, welcome. Okay, so let's go into get actors. Start is... so enemy actors, that's the offset is 416, and then there are apparently potentially 6 of them. So we make an array of battle actors that has a capacity of 6, and we are going to step through that and add them in. So the first one is going to be at that offset, and let's see what it creates. So this created a battle actor with no hit points, no MP, level 7, 40 max HP, and status death. So this is the first guy. We already killed him. So let's actually drop that breakpoint there and put the other one there. So the first guy is the guy we killed already. I continue on, and what's our second guy? Second guy, it says he has 341 hit points, and he's hasted and regened. Did we switch over to the other one? We did. Oh, because I'm now in the regular actors one. Okay. So I just caught a new breakpoint there. That is my mistake. So let me continue that one. Here's the 6 one. So we're going to take a look at the results of the 6. So this is the call for 6 of them. So this first one, so it was a level 7 enemy, and he had a max HP of 40, and he is dead. The second guy in here has 40 HP currently, and he has no status effects applied. And let's have a look. This guy should also be dead. Yep, 0 current hit points. He was level 8 and he is dead. And then what about this next people? They are level 0. They are entirely zeros would be my guess. Okay, so they don't exist. So 3, 4, and 5 do not exist. You found an encounter that used all 6, Mr. Shoji? Which one is it? Okay, so what that tells us is that we can find the enemies that are alive based on them having some of these values. So why don't I add onto the battle actor a check to see whether they exist or not? Or something along those lines. Essentially a property that says, hey, I'm not really here. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, one of the... Yes, I'm sure you're right, Mr. Shoji. There are a lot of those frog guys in that area. I bet one of those is the 6 enemy combat. So let's do this. Let's add in a property, and it's gonna sort of complain at me. Visual Studio is, because I'm modifying, like, it is running, so we're gonna get some red squiggles here, and we're gonna say so I don't want to say valid. Maybe just exists. How do we tell if he exists? Maybe if max HP greater than 0, or max MP is greater than 0. No, because this won't short level 0. Yeah, there'll never be a level 0 thing. If we're sure that that one's if we're sure that's always invalid, then I'll go with that. And then that gives us a nice shortcut for exists, so that we don't have to say level greater than 0, because we don't really care about the level, we just want to know, do they exist? It happens that we check level to determine that. Okay, so that's going to help us find the valid targets. Let's go ahead and hey, Charlie Rowan, welcome. Long time no see. Alright, let's go ahead and restart it, and we're going to check that value after I do that command again. So I'm going to drop the breakpoint back on that collection if it's not there. Was it in battle map? Oh, yep, we're going to start catching it there. Alright, let's remove that breakpoint, because it's going to just connect, it's just going to catch the players. Oh, you've been sick. Hopefully it's, you know, just regular cold, not, you know, the one that's been going around. All right. Yeah, exactly. As Cams always says. All right. So we're gonna do haste all again. So we're just gonna do this command one more time, because it's gonna check the enemies. So as we check the enemies, we are going to step in here. I'm going to drop a breakpoint there, and then hit F5, and then this has 6 actors, which means we're on the correct one. So let's check the exists value again. So it should be here. So exists, true. So the first guy exists, the second guy exists, and the third guy exists. Now the last 3, false, false, and false. Okay, so if you'll remember when we started this combat, there were 3 enemies alive, and we have killed 2 of them. So 2 of those guys were dead, but existed. So that is key. The next thing that I want to do with it is say, is valid target. So we have exists. Let's make is... you know what? I don't want to say is valid target, because I was thinking you can't target a dead character, but we might create some effect that brings a character back to life. So if we allow the ability to bring a character back to life, whether it be an enemy or... I don't know if... Is that possible? I wonder if that's possible. Oh, that would be so evil if you could bring an enemy back to life after they were dead. They don't always stay dead either. Yeah! Can you bring an enemy back to life? How does... Wolves near Rocket Town bring them back? So there are some enemies that get summoned new versions of, like the first battle when you get Red 13 has enemies that get resummoned, and I don't know whether it's bringing them back to life and then just doing an animation when it does that, or whether the game is just bringing in new enemies and running an animation. I don't know like what the coding is doing. Is it a revival? Okay. So there is some way to do it, so I'm going to leave with this for now. Let's have a look over here in enemy status effect. So I want to take basically the same approach, but we're going to need new targets. So for now, I'm going to target by number because I don't want to deal with figuring out how to name which target is which. New enemies change the ABC. Yes, you're right. If there were a new instance of it, it would have a new letter. You're correct. Oh, yes, so Gamzoli, that is a fantastic programming question. So an int and a uint is, essentially, uint is an unsigned integer. So, think about it this way. I'm going to just pull a notepad so you can all see it. If we say that this number is the number 1, just, you know, doing 8-bit binary, right? And then this is the number 2, right? And then the number 3, sorry, the number 3. I know how to binary. Anyway, the question then becomes, what is this value? Okay? And that value, in a signed integer, is -3. In an unsigned integer, that is, 128 plus 3, so it's 131, something like that. So that's the difference, is whether this value is -3 or that. So essentially in an unsigned integer, all the bits are just additive number in binary, and in a signed integer, that first bit is indicating whether it's negative. And because of the fact that the game uses unsigned integers for these values, and that I don't want to have to think about what they would be if, like, what the signed int version of it, so I don't want to have to think about the negative numbers, we do only positive numbers. Oh. Yes, that's... Yes. Mr. Shoji, yes, you are correct. I did not actually do the math right on that because a 1 followed by the zeros, yeah. Depending on exactly how the system handles it, because I also didn't, talk about whether or not it's big endian or little endian or anything like that. There's a whole bunch of factors that go into what that actually translates to when it gets to a computer. But the point being, I am dealing with ones that are never negative, because that's the way that the game works. So essentially, they're using all their bits just as ID numbers, so there's no need to ever have negatives. So, hence uints. You'll also see in the code I'll have ushorts as well. So a ushort is a 16-bit integer without a negative sign. Okay, so first thing I need to do is figure out what status they asked me for. So I want to know what status is someone trying to apply to an enemy. And in here, byword command text. No, not the command text, because in this one, the command text is wrong. So it's going to be arguments, first or default. Actually, I should be looking at this one for it, because this one's closer to what I want to do. Yeah. So that'll get me the status. No problem, Gemzoli. For a U-bit. Why would you have a U-bit? A U-byte I could see. A U-byte I could see. Okay. So this is how we'd figure out who they targeted. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to start off first valid enemy for now. So I'm going to do it like that. We're just going to target the first valid enemy and not do selections because I don't know how the status effect stuff is going to work. So we're going to have to see if it works at all. Alright, so I want to say that we needed to get a status, and we're going to leave that code there because we do need to make sure they targeted someone. So we're just going to leave that sitting there like that and just say we'll bring this code back in when it's time. Okay. And then lastly, we need to make sure that that this is even enabled at all. So status effects are enabled in the system, so the blank status effect is disabled. Okay, that should still be valid. Be sure to name a valid status and actor example. What did I call the command? Whoops. What is what's the question? Byte is byte is just gonna be unsigned. Yeah, like. What about signed, unsigned, void? Yeah, I don't know of a language where a character would ever be considered a signed value. But maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Okay, so check target validity. We're not going to do that. So I'm going to instead say, actually, let's leave this here. We're just going to get the target. Let me grab that target for now. So we're just going to do this. Sure, you can import the types for that. So I'm not going to pull it from allies. How do I get access to the current model? I need to pull it in from here. Status view model. Is this it? No, I think there's a battle info accessor. Is this the one? No, this pulls from memory. I don't want this one. Although, funny enough, that actually just gets it separately at the time that I ask for it. That's not the one I want. I guess I'll do it for now. From CP reference, the signedness of a character depends on the compiler and the target platform. Yeah, exactly, Fuel Snable. That is a terrible answer. Okay, so I want to add in. Oh, I do not want to call that view model. Do I not have a game status? Game moment, game analytics, game moments, no. Game search types, no. Alright, we're gonna have that, I guess, then, and it needs a rename. Because that is named poorly for now. Okay, so I am not gonna do what they said. List battle actor for now. Targeted. I'm just gonna say targets equals status view model. And I'm gonna say enemies. So let's jump over to the view model. Sorry, the actual view model itself. And I'm gonna make these battle actors instead of characters. We're gonna make them the enemy. And then we're gonna say, instead of doing this and grabbing like live party characters and everything like that, rename that to enemies. I might change that type. Battle map dot. Oh, opponents. Yeah, that's fine. We don't quite match up there, but that's fine. So we're gonna say enemies where exists, and then we'll to-list it. So we're going to say if the enemy existed at all in the combat, it is a target. So I was originally saying we'll target only the first one, and actually let's say end is alive. Ooh, we're going to add a helper for that. How do we tell if someone's alive? They do not have the death effect. So we're going to say status, and that equals 0. So we're going to say if they do not have the death status, they are they're alive. Because I believe the game, as soon as the character hits 0 hit points, I believe the game gives them the death status effect. So I want to choose enemies where they exist and they're alive. And those will be the targets. And then we're going to say if either the setting was null or there weren't any targets, then we continue on. So let's get rid of that. So they're going to target everyone. So we're going to target all valid enemies for now. All right. Now I want to confirm that this part is going to work. So what we're going to do is this. We're just going to send out a message for now to confirm that this code runs as expected, and then once we confirm that this code runs, then we can try applying the status effect. So trying to apply the status settings.name effect to targeted.count enemies. And that'll be our message that we will send. Let's go ahead and stop the program, and we will run it again, connect to chat, and then try running the command. If it works, then hey, cool. If it doesn't, did I ever register it? Whoops. Ah, stop it, Visual Studio. Stop. Wish it would stop just let me do the thing I'm trying to do. Looks like the answer to that is no. Okay. Mr. Shoji, I do not know what ASCII 42 is. What is ASCII 42? Nice. Okay, there we go. So I was gonna try, Let me check the statuses, assuming they're in this view. I swear they're in here somewhere. Oh, I didn't add them to the screen yet. Okay. Okay, so enemy. That's what it's called. Enemy. And then what's the status effect I want to apply? Haste. Trying to apply haste effect to one enemies. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a real... we're not really leaving that command there, so that actually is what we want to see. Excellent. Trying to apply the name status effect to that. Okay, so what do we want to do then? We want to take a look at the heal status effect command. And we do want a check validity kind of thing. We sort of already checked that, but we're going to do a new check validity because it's going to be a little different for these guys. Targeted. This will be battle actor array. Enemy status effects status. Okay, I'm gonna stop that because I don't like the squiggles. So I want the targets, the enemies. So this instead of this is gonna be enemies. So that's gonna be all enemies. Why do I need all enemies? I don't think I need that because I have the I'm actually using the battle actor this time instead of the. So I think I just need this, and then that's the effect I'm trying to apply. And it's going to return back a collection of those. Okay. So for now, we're just going to return back the targeted people. I want to check this one for how it does validity. So we clearly already checked whether they existed and whether they're alive. We need to check if they already have the status effect. Is that the only thing we have to check? I think this is all we have to check with these ones. I think that's it. So for each targeted, I'm actually just going to say target. Do I care about the invalid ones? Do I want to report back? Or do I just do... So we usually tell the caller which ones were valid and which ones were invalid. So I guess we'll say valid and... So it'll be has effect. So they already have it. These will be collections of these, and that means that the return is going to be valid and has effects. Okay, which means that this, if I go to the status effect command and look at its, so I don't need a safe from because that doesn't exist here. So valid and has effect. And these are battle actors, not allies in this one. There we go. Okay, so now I need to figure out how I did has status. So I put this right on the character object. I'm going to put this little shortcut onto our battle actor, because I am betting that I don't have that one. Nope, I don't. So I'm going to create this little helper on here also. So I'm basically adding little helpers to this to give me a nice little check. So it's just called status. So status greater than 0, then they have it. So this is just a nice way to hide this, because anytime I've got a bitwise operator, it's going to confuse people. And actually, we're an educational stream, so I'm going to explain what that does. So a lot of us know how to do the standard Boolean operators where we say true and true equals true. And I'm going to shorthand this, and we say true and false equals false. And we say false and false equals false. So that's the ands. But if we said true or true equals true, and true or false equals true, and false or false equals false, and I wrote these wrong and should adjust them, just so I'm not lying to you, I'm going to do the C# standard style for these. So, hey, Tony Notions, welcome. It's going pretty well. So, these are the standard Boolean ways of doing things for ands and ors. So, if you're used to seeing this, this probably makes sense to most people that have written any, C-based programming language. Yeah, Mr. Shoji, I did adjust this. What is this? Oh, yeah, you were yes. I should have done that. I was just shorthand, just tossing this in here, and I was like, oh, actually, I'm using a programming language that does this, and I'm specifically talking about one thing. So that's how those work. I'm going to do a quick Boolean example. So when you do the single one like this, with the individual ampersand, not two of them, that's saying to do the bitwise operator instead. So what that does is that does a comparison of each bit. So it'll check the first bit, so the 1 and the 0 here get ANDed together, the second bit, and the third bit. So the result of ANDing these, and I'm going to go vertical, so you look down like this, is going to be this. But if we were to do... so if we did this instead, then the result would be that. And so, essentially what this is saying is, if we're trying to check and see if this value is in this set of bits, doing an ampersand like this, a single one, will leave us with a result. So, essentially we're saying, if this bit was since we had a 1 in here, we were saying, we're just really checking, does this have a 1? If it does, then this value will be greater than 0, which it is. And that's basically all we're checking. It's a little weird, but that's the way that these statuses work. So basically the way that a status works in Final Fantasy VII is whatever the player's status is going to be in this sequence of numbers, and maybe if this bit is whether or not they have haste, and this one's whether or not they're poisoned, that's how it stores it in the game, is just a series of bits for each status that might be on there. So just as an explanation of how that works. So when we write the memory for a character, that's all we're adjusting, is those individual bits. Yay, educational stream. Alright, so there's our has status check. So target has status. If they have it, we're going to put them in the has status collection, and otherwise we're putting them in the valid collection. So all of these are getting sorted into the right collection, and then we can send this back. So this is, so why does it start it as targets? Is that how I did it here too? Did I just put it in targets? And then I just said targets valid something or other? Okay. Yeah, let's check. Alright, so the first thing we do after we get our targets is we check to see whether or not we can even afford to do the command, so I will make a little check for that, which this may end up going into the base. Hype! Alright, let's go over to this. I'm pretty sure this can go into the base, but we're going to find out here in a second. Target count, status effect, status, and it's basically whether or not if I need to adjust something on this. Yeah, we could totally put this in here by just extracting the individual cost, I think. I think by pulling out just the individual cost parameter. So just this one. Each cost, we'll say. And then let's get rid of that. Yeah. Okay. Alright, that works out very nicely. So looking at that, that actually looks like it's going to work well. So if I pull this into the base, so we're gonna do this. That's going in the base class. Base class! There we go. Now when we go back to the status vec command, this is not needed. And then cost, which this probably got shifted to the end, didn't it? Yep, there we go. Okay, now let's take a look at the heal one, because it probably has the same thing, but its different is that the difference here on this one is it's calling cure cost. So that's how this one changed, is this one had a different cost. So we may make it so that the cost to apply an enemy status is different than the cost to apply an ally status, which I think makes a lot of sense, because I don't think people will want that same one, but for now we're going to stick with the same cost for both, just for simplicity, so that I can get the status effect code working, and then we can adjust that. Okay. So if they cannot afford it, we do that, and then for all of the ones that already have the effect, we're going to need to tell people about it. So this is going to be battle actor, invalid target. We're going to need to adjust that. I don't think I have the... Ooh, I need to look and see where their name is. I don't know where their name is. Mr. Shoji, are you there? Do you know where the name is relative to the battle actor? Is it on there? For the enemies? Do we have their ID or anything there? Yeah, but if we have an ID, we might... Okay, we know it's somewhere because it's displayed on that screen. I know you find it funny. And welcome, Gorda. Thanks for that follow. Much appreciated. And anyone else that's in the channel and has not hit follow, be sure to do so. Best way to get notified when we go live. Okay, so it is somewhere completely different, but is it look-upable easily? That's the question. If there's an ID and we could look it up elsewhere, remember, I'm not, just pulling from one spot. We're mapping data onto all of these models. So, also, Mr. Shoji, I don't know if you ever took a look, but what do you think about the switch I did to doing these explicit struct layouts like this to do our mapping instead of individually mapping each thing through the offsets and everything? I wasn't sure if you saw that I'd basically changed everything that Seng did so that it, pulls in all of its monitoring this way now. I think I adjusted almost everything to doing this. Yeah, I kind of felt like, this just feels like the way that we should get most of this stuff is just essentially making a map of it. Yeah. Oh, there are some things that, yeah. Well, we can look into some of those. I do know that there were some issues that it had related to some of these that I haven't really gotten into yet. Alright, what does get targeted ally do? This figures out who they are in the party. Okay, so in that case, I want to say who... How do I tell who they are? I need to know who they are from the original collection, right? Alright, I'm just going to say this. Enemy. So I'm just going to say the status effect already affects one of the enemies. And I'm going to say to do get the enemy, get some identifier for the enemy to mention here. Okay, so we're going to send out that message, and then this is going to be for the valid targets. We're actually going to apply the status effect to them. For each battle actor, target in targets.valid. We don't need to get who they are yet. I'm going to say that one of the enemies to enemy with, you know what, I'm going to do this. Can I say anything about them? No, there's nothing I can say about them. To an enemy, okay. So the set actor status is not expecting to get a battle actor, I guess, despite the fact that I said actor. It's looking for one of these. Let me have a look at an ally. What's on here? Has a memloc primary status and secondary status. Oh, it's actually got the it has that. Okay. Is that why I built these this way? So I could track that? That might be. Because this just knows this knows the slots, so it knows which one. So this was a conversion to be able to just keep track of who they were and where they were. Okay, that makes sense. Are what two status? There are two status bytes. There's a primary and a second status byte. Actually, are they bytes? I don't think they're bytes. Is it a byte? Oh no, you're right, it's a byte. I think. Yeah. Because defaults to 1. Yeah, so I'm betting in the battle actor. I'm betting in the battle actor it's 2, isn't it? Oh, interesting. We did a uint. Is it a uint or is it a ushort? Does that exceed it? Really? What is this in, Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Right, because, yeah, that's, because that's double, so 4 of these would be... Huh. That's kind of funny. Hey, S&B, welcome, you made it. Wow, yeah, okay. What? No, because this should be, this is 4 bytes right here, isn't it? It could, Shoji, but isn't this getting 4 bytes worth? This is a uint, so that'll be... Yes, it's the B of Essen. It's something to look into. Either way, let's continue with this one, because I want to try to make this work. So, for now, instead of using that, let's do... Can I do that? Make a version of this that takes in a battle actor? I don't know what the implication of that is going to be. Battle actor won't have the value in it. So I do need to know the index at all points, don't I? Since status effect is a uint enum, when it does the field offset right there, it should grab all 4 bytes to answer your question, Mr. Shoji. It should put all 4 bytes on the battle actor. It could be somewhere else that we're losing it. I'm not sure, but I would expect it to give us all 4 of those because it is set to a uint there. It's set to a uint and should just map the memory from that location onto it. S&B, I have no idea, but that is bizarre. Set actor status. Can I make one of these? What do we use the index for? Apply the status. What do we use on here? Do you write the status on the actor? What do we use the actor for? We just use the address of that? How many bytes do we grab? That is an interesting thing I'm noticing there. Yeah. What's... Is it an int? No, it's a uint. I need to check imprisoned. We don't apply imprisoned anyway. So because it's like that. And yeah, anniversary could be based on the first sub. That is totally possible. But I'm wondering if maybe we should do this instead. If this should be a uint instead of an int on these values. So the challenge, can we just write, can we get the bytes from the status? I guess since we made the status a uint, we could. And just pass the status all the way through? Can we get away with that? I feel like there must have been a reason we were converting it off of that. If that and manip is greater than 0, then do that. This could be written as an or equals to add it, right? Oh, because that gets passed in, and then write status needs to take in a status effect. And then at this exact moment, uint. At that point, we could do the conversion then. No, so yeah, Mr. Shoji, it is a remnant of some other things actually, because it was like that in converting the statuses before I added anything from Sang. Status effect, that's a status effect there. No need to convert those, whoops. That's hilarious that works. Yeah, choose status, we don't need to convert anymore. Alright, I think that removes all the ints. All ints are gone. Have some good food there, S&B. Oh yeah, i7's not running right now, so the i7 command won't tell you much at this point, because it is not currently running. But because we are working on a new command for it. Does it build right now? Be a great question. So these do the exact same thing, except when it calls those and wants to pass in these. Because it's passing around the actor everywhere. I should say the actor that's called an ally. Nostalgic Gnome. No, that's actually not. So, the tilde is used for a finalizer in, in C#. That is the symbol for that. So, basically a finalizer looks kind of like a constructor, but it has the tilde in the beginning. What the tilde means is it means negating it. So it means the opposite, right? So it's the opposite of this. So the reason it's used as a finalizer in C# in that way, like essentially it's like if you have a constructor and you have a destructor would be the idea. So the tilde just means do the opposite. It's like the reverse. So in this case, it's like taking this in binary and turning it into this. So this is what that tilde did, was it flipped all the bits. Correct. Yeah, so if not true equals false in C#, then tilde that equals that, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's a bitwise not rather than a logical one. Yep. So that's all I was doing. It's a little weird to see. We don't see it very often, but that's basically how it's like I want to undo the status. So it's like, okay, so keep everything that wasn't that is the idea. Don't. If you're not used to thinking bitwise stuff, try not to think about what that line was. Yes, it's weird enum trick stuff with bitwise operators. Try not to just don't think about it too much. That. All right, so the problem I've got here is I don't have the memory location of that actor in that set where we got it, because I didn't map it to something. That's why I was doing the operation I was doing before. So how do we want to do this? Rather than going to allies, I could make a collection of the enemies and we could try to figure out which enemy it is, but then I'd have to know. I guess if I did the same trick and I lettered them and we did it by index, but then I'd have to look them up anyway. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to that view model thing that I had. Party status view model, and instead of creating a set of battle actors, I am going to create a dictionary of, and I'm just going to int, even though int is not really the correct one here, and I'm going to put the index in there because I think that's going to make it a little bit easier to deal with. So we're going to say to dictionary. Does it give me how good's the selector for this? It just takes in the battle actor. There's no way to grab the index. So I'm supposed to return back the key, but they don't give me an index to do it from in any of these, do they? key selector, but it only takes in the battle actor. Battle actor. Index is never 1. Okay. But this could take in an enumerable of key value pairs. So we're going to do it this way instead. So we're going to say map dot battle map dot opponents select. Nope, not select many, just select. Okay, this is gonna get weird. Alright, so we're gonna say reflection is great and powerful dark magic. Dirty runtime reflection. Runtime reflection. Where am I doing runtime reflection? A new key value pair. Where did I select? I selected here, and I need to select this differently. This is battle actor, and then index. There we go. So that bit of ugliness does our work. So that will create a dictionary where the key is the index of that record. Oh, it was just mentioned in chat. Okay. Oh, binary logic makes more sense than reflection. Oh, yeah, in some places. You're right. If you get into, like, simple reflection stuff is fine. You can get into some weeds in either of those, though, I think, that can make them just mind-bending. Alright, so this got affected by it. Okay. Okay, so I've messed with things a little bit. So targeted.value, I think is what it's going to be, right? Can I, oh, because I don't have the... Okay, we're going to change the type. Change parameter of the called method. Yeah. Okay, so it's a list of key value pairs of these. So this is .value. Motoboat, welcome, greetings. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. If you are ready to be Darth, I recommend you look into link expression trees and generate program on the fly and compile them in... No, Fuel Snable, no. No, we're not going to do that. And regexes, I like regexes, actually. But the annoying thing with them, you're right, is that they do not match between languages. So every language has different ways of doing regular expressions, which is one of the things that makes it a bit of a pain. But they do tend to work well. You know what? Instead of doing a list, I kind of want to put this back to a dictionary. So that's a dictionary now. Because that is going to be way easier. Wait, what? No, change the type of the parameter. I just switched the other one. That's what? Yeah, no. I apparently didn't do it right. I apparently had something messed up there. Okay. So we're going to make a dictionary out of those. There we go. A new dictionary out of these. Target validity is going to be... These are going to be dictionaries also. Same types. Is there not a way to add the key? There you go. Not ideal, I know, I'm just kind of hacking this together right now. This is going to need some cleanup. I am aware, I am aware. I just need to keep track of that key somewhere, and I don't want to put it on the object. Desert Griffin, hey, welcome! Welcome back. Yeah. It's alright, it's alright. I know how schedules get. I have to deal with schedules too. Glad you made a stream, though. Always nice to see people here. This... so for eaching this, that's going to be the key value pair of this. And then this is going to be the same thing. And in this one, that's going to matter. So instead of set actor status, I'm going to say set enemy status for now because I don't have the right value for it. So I am going to say target.key and target.value. So I'm going to adjust the one that we created before to be this one. So we're going to say index and actor, and this is status effect singular. I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to go to this. I don't need that anymore, but I am going to create this one, which I think I'm going to put it up top for now just because that's where we're working. Okay. There we go. Way better. Oh, Fuel Snibble, I agree. That's a terrible language. There are some absurd languages out there. And Nostalgic Gnome, yeah, I will never use those languages. Yeah, so there are some hilarious languages for just doing interesting... It's like people have made some fun languages that no one should ever use. Okay, so... let's see. Let's grab this for now, because this is effectively what we're... This is the action we're doing, and then we just need to adjust how it does it. Do you think that with the current direction CPU development is heading, increase the core count rather than increase the clock speed? You know, I do think that with the changes to, I guess the fact that we're just not increasing speed as much as we are expanding the amount of operations, I think it is going to change the way that we write code in some way at some point. That being said, I don't know if it's necessarily just going to translate into functional programming increases, or whether we're going to be changing like the run times of the languages that we use, and changing the way we code in them. I do think that there already is an increase in the amount of functional programming use over, say, like the previous decade. So it could just be that there's more expansion of that. At the same time, we have noticed a lot of functional programming getting added into other languages. And Yes, so as FuelSnable mentions, like Erlang, for example, has had a resurgence in recent years. So I know a bunch of companies that use Erlang for a bunch of things. So there are some other models and you know, both technologies, languages, runtimes, all of these sorts of things that have been used at certain points that I think some of them are going to make some comebacks, and we just have to kind of sit here and see what happens. So let's see if it has a blocking opposite. Then we're gonna make and yes, I know this is not the way I want to do this, but we're gonna do this for now just so I can make this code work because I want to have it working today. So remove enemy status and apply full status. Are getting duplicated. Whoops. Index and a battle actor are going to be needed for now, till I figure that out. I think that's what I called it. Right, but I didn't pass in the index. That's what went wrong. This method, I'm gonna have to rework this whole method. Let's see. Functional languages are less performant. Well, that's hard to say. It depends on what you're doing. For certain things, they are. Right, enemy status, and okay, so get that and that. This is a battle actor with an index, and so is this one. They don't have those values. Yeah, they don't. So write enemy status, and that'll be index and actor, and then get true status is going to be index and actor, and this is not, this is get enemy true status, index and actor. Whew, I'm gonna have so much duplication removing this is ridiculous. This is gonna be ridiculous fixing this later. This is get enemy true status with an index and an actor. Alright, what's this one? Get enemy true status with an index and an actor. Whew. Yeah. I'm going to have to fix the way that this works. I'm going to need to change this so that enemies and allies work the same way. But I'm going to need to add a couple of types to this. So this is going to have a lot of... So for those of you that aren't here, usually the way that I like to program things is I like to make it work first and then go back and remove the duplication, refactor, and build to the structure that I want. I would rather start with duplication that lets you think through the problem and get it working, and then go back and rework it into a better structure, as that prevents you from going down the, like, over-optimizing, like, let me just figure out the exact most complex and amazing structure that's going to make this work, and, you know, then you end up with, like, something you either didn't need or doesn't even really solve the problem. So, but I'm thinking that we're going to be able to get away with having either using the battle actor for what happened? Oh. Now what I'm wondering is Nostalgic Gnome will be untimed out in a couple of seconds. I'm assuming you either posted a link or didn't post a link and it got confused somehow about a .NET or something. Yes, exactly, Mr. Shoji. Simple first, even if simple means extra code in this case, which it does. Okay, so battle actors got created at what point? Where did these get created? Because this is still using the Sang battle map offsets. Right, instead of using memory locations. So this is just the starting point of the offset from where the battle map was to begin with. So I needed to know the starting point of the battle map. Wait, battle map actor offsets. That's funny. Okay. I think this actually can go away. I don't think that's being used anymore. Is this where it is? Okay, so that's the start of the battle map. Okay, now I have to remember how you do that. Okay, so well, alternately, I could just hard code this, and just say, that's the enemy actors. How did I do allies? Did I just hard code in memory locations? I did. Okay, screw it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Here goes. I didn't want to do this, but we're gonna do this. Okay, battle map offset, so if they were at 0, then that means addresses, was this the starting point? Is this the starting point of the allies? Should be, right? Yep, DC, there it is. Okay. Which means if I grab a calculator and I do a hex value of that plus this one, I get 9AB0DC. So that should be the start of the enemies. Whoops. That'll be... Helps if you actually copy it. 9AB27C. Should be the beginning of them, right? Because it starts, because the status is the first thing on them. So, Mr. Shoji, if you're still in here, I have something for you to look up. If you're still here. (9AB2E4). Yeah, no, that is the length of them. What I was gonna say is, go look around this memory address, Mr. Shoji. See if name is around there. I don't know if it is. But I have a guess that it might be. Is it around that memory address, though? Hang on a sec. G7C. (2604). Sorry, everyone. I'm just updating some values here. 74 is going to be BF2678. That's funny. Okay. Oh, dang it. I forgot I need to do more of these. 3, 4, 5. These all need to change. These are now A, B, whoops, C, D, E, and F. C, D, E, and F. Okay. all will get all of them, and those will get those ones. Okay, so I didn't actually keep increasing these, so let me bring back my calculator, and we will continue on with this. Hey, Simon, welcome. Long time no see. I can check, but I believe it was more complex than a fixed address each time. Oh, Mr. Shoji, is it creating that? Could be a pain in the butt then. No, nostalgic. Yes, cheat engine. I have spent many hours digging through all of the code in this with cheat engine, and I made myself a bunch of maps, and any other information anyone else was willing to give me for where stuff is, I've also used to find it. So some of the modding community, for example, has also sent me their maps of where stuff is in memory, because they occasionally, when creating mods, are needing to write in, like, memory locations that are available for certain things. So they'll reuse spots wherever they can. So I have a lot of maps from other people, and I just need to find, like, where is this? And right now, I am going to take this number, and whoops, I'm going to be adding 68 to it, which is going to get me 9A, B3, B4. It's got to be that each time, right? So that's 9B41C is the next one. And then the last one is going to be 9B484. Okay, and then over here, I need to start from this. And I need to add 74 each time. So that is going to be BF 26EC, and then BF 2760, and then BF 27D4. So that is where these values are stored in memory in this program, in this game. It's getting the index of the enemy in the battle and which battle formation it is, and then looking up the index against the formation location. So it's like a two-step process. So there will be a specific index, and it's not like it's a pointer to anywhere in a heap of memory, but it is... Oh, yeah, no, Mr. Shoji. Yes, I am very aware of the fact that the PC version and the PlayStation versions of the memory are the same and just have a different offset. The offset between them... for anyone that is wondering, is, because I do have it, I know what it is, so that if I find any references to anything that are there, it is off by hexadecimal number EA18. So that's what you have to, that is the amount of difference, that's the offset between PlayStation memory and PC memory for this game. So, yes, old cheat codes. So if you find old, like, cheat codes for how to do things, like old, like, Game Shark and that sort of thing, this info. Yes, we're talking about the English PC Steam version right now is mostly what we're doing. Okay, so this is enemies. This on down the list is enemies. Oh, that's funny. I wrote the offsets in there. I took the trouble of going and looking up what that offset was again, and I had them noted right here so that I wouldn't mess it up. Hey, Pudding, you made it. Welcome. Yes, exactly, which is why I have pointed out that right now I only support the English PC version. And yes, hey Pudding, it's going pretty well. You did not miss another stream. You made it to this stream. Welcome. Okay, so that should give us enemies now as an option. So we can look up enemies separately from allies, which means that I can make some kind of base version of these. Which I think I'll do an interface out of. Status actor. I think will do well enough. I don't need the index on this. I just need the memory locations of their status effects. Status actor. Yeah. Okay. Not huge on that name. I might rename that, actually. I has status. I has status. Not the worst name ever. And we'll just do it that way for now. I could potentially have done a base instead of an interface, but I'm not terribly worried about it for now. What is that value? Index? So this was by word. I'm going to add for enemies. A similar thing. We're going to do a public static by ID. We're going to say int index, actually by index. Singular default with the index specified. So, derp x index equals index. We should have one of those, right? Public static by index. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that. So now let's adjust how we do the command. So we're gonna get rid of this crap I was creating, this, and we're instead gonna change these. So actually, I'm just gonna discard the changes to status accessor. So that'll revert back to just the regular. Actually, I'm going to redo that. I forgot we did the status effect flip also, so I'm just going to remove all the enemy sections. Yeah, this is an enemy one. Okay, now when I look at status effect, 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 status effect. Okay, good. Alright, so now if I go here, I want to change this to a I has status. And let's see if we can't just adjust this whole thing to just use this now. Just get rid of the word actor. Just change all the actor types, all the allies types to be one of these. And then all should be well. Okay, good. So we just flipped from using the static, from the concrete allies class to using this interface on here. Yeah, we no longer have a set enemy status. We just have set actor status. And instead of passing in this value like this, we are going to do enemies dot by index of targets dot key. Yep, that'll be the enemy, and we're gonna pass it in here. Now makes me wonder if I need almost any of the other stuff about it. I guess I needed the battle actor in order to determine their current status and everything like that. Whether or not it's valid based on some other attributes. But that might just work. You want to try it out? So, I apologize about that. That took us a while to build that, but we do have the game still running in the background, and we are still in a combat with a single opponent, so I think it's time to try. Whoops, didn't mean to bring that on screen. You guys don't care about that. Alright, Interactive 7 is live. There's our enemy. So... what does he need? Does he need haste? Applied haste to the enemy. It looks like he sped up. I don't know about you. And he's poisoned. Look at that. Nice. Well, let's let it run. Let's see if he takes damage. Is he taking poison damage? Yes. He's taking poison damage. I don't think he's supposed to be poisonable at this point in the game. I can regen him, can't I? Which we don't really see. Oh, I think his haste wore off. Can I frog him? Oh my god! He's frogged. He did the beam gun animation. Okay, so maybe certain statuses we shouldn't be applying to the enemy. Enemy. What else can we do to him? There we go. He's peerless. That poison doesn't do anything now. Good luck, guys. Good luck. The unkillable frog enemy here. We do 0 damage to him. I am going to screenshot this. There you go. That is good. That is good. Yeah. Well, that kind of works. That's a reasonable V1 of that, I think. Oh, hey, yeah, no problem. So we are building a program that interfaces in here, and thank you for that follow, by the way. This is chat control of Final Fantasy VII. So, for example, if I wanted to give Cloud regeneration, I put in that command and he has regeneration. If I want to do the same thing for Barrett, I can do this command and he'll get regeneration. If I want to put Cloud to sleep, I can use that command and Cloud will go to sleep, so the character on the top there. We can also do a bunch of other things, like if I want to change Cloud's name to Sleepy, I can change Cloud's name to Sleepy, and you'll notice it updated in the game down here right above my head, and the name Sleepy is now there. Or if I wanted to change it to DevChatter. Doesn't quite fit, so I'm going to sort of cut it short a little bit. I can change his name to DevChatter, which you can see is in there. You can also do stuff like what Mr. Shoji did with rainbow mode. So all the menus are now just rotating around through this rainbow of colors. So there's all kinds of interactions that we've built into the game. Let me go ahead and kill our party real fast, and then I can show everyone some more of this. So we're going to go ahead and get a game over. I petrified the whole party, so that ends the game. Obviously, if your whole party's been turned to stone, they cannot win. So we got a nice game over there. I am going to load up a new save, and you'll notice it is still doing the rainbow this whole time that we're in here. So rainbow's still going, but there are other things that we can do as well. So for example, we could do like what item do I want to have? I have a Buster Sword that's been added to my inventory. I could add a tissue to my inventory, and you'll see that they just sort of appear there. And so, like, we have given chat a lot of control over the game. And, yeah, so someone turned the menu green. That's weird. I guess it only saw one color there, so it accepted it as green. Yeah, thank you, Juniscu. And then, you know, a variety of other things as well. I'm not in a spot where I can see the materia, but we can manipulate materia as well. We can also change the equipped items of the characters. So if you, the equipment of Cloud, he has a Buster Sword equipped, but I could just say weapon, Cloud, Alt, and now he's equipped with the Ultima weapon, so most powerful weapon in the game, right there, for that character. And then there are also things like what Stoney's trying to do. So you can look at the costs of different things. So in my channel, to trigger a menu change, I don't have any cost on that for mine. But status effect costs are listed there, for example. So if you want to apply status effects in combat, which I don't really have a reason to be charging, but it's an example because a streamer that does play Final Fantasy would want to do this. Ooh, cyan, there you go. That's a little bright, but yeah, it totally works. You can also specify 4 colors. What do you think is default, Mr. Shoji? Something are a fixed list of names. Color names shouldn't have spaces. Oh, yes, yes. Yep. That's true. Yep, so it doesn't, like, search for color names, and also just in my chat, if you just mention a color name, so, like, if you just say red and you watch the color around, see, like, those lights there, like that one, and up on the top, so you can actually just change the color of that at any point, and then those just change to what, yeah, see, like, Juniscu just said teal, and it becomes teal. So, lots of cool stuff. Okay, so, and we're going to teal. Teal's really not bad. Like, of solid colors, that's one of the better ones. But solid colors tend to get, like, eye painful. Yeah, it's just gonna go to lavender. It only saw one color. The way that it works is it looks for colors in your set of parameters that you passed in when you did a menu command. And you have to either have 1 color or 4 colors mentioned. But as long as you have 1 or 4 colors, it will work. Yeah, a lot of people remove the cost on Rainbow and Mako. But some people even charge for just color, like just menu color changes, which, depending on your channel, if you have a really active chat that's going to be doing the commands a lot, you might want to, just so that you don't end up with it being like lime the whole time. Because lime gets annoying. Yeah, exactly. If you're a bigger streamer, it makes sense. On mine, the only reason there are costs is just because I haven't actually changed it, and it's usually the default setting. So whatever the default is, just because I don't mess with it. So I could change it, but if someone wants to do something, I can just go and run it, and it works fine. So, okay, so that does seem to work. Let's allow you to pick the target now, instead of just grabbing all of them. So let's switch to... I'm going to get a list of enemies that are going to be enemies equals enemies dot by word add default 1. So that should get me the enemies. And then I also want to get the battle actors. Battle actors is going to be enemies. Oh, sorry. I turned off Interactive 7 for a moment because I was going to have build errors while I changed things. So yeah, that menu color's stuck there for a second. I will turn it back on in a little bit. Saying lavender doesn't work correctly. That probably is just what .NET considers lavender to be if you're thinking the color's wrong. So I think that's all I need to... Yeah, okay, there we go. So we're just going to put them back in like that. So we're simplifying that again. And now we're going to say... Can I take an index on a where? I can. Okay, so I'm going to do... actor, index. So we're going to say where index where enemies dot select index which actually I'm gonna save this as a variable here, which we're gonna say indexes. Indexes contains index to list. There we go. Mr. Shoji, hang on 1 second. Mr. Shoji, it is now safe for you to post a link to a list of colors. Whoops. So this needs to take in battle actors. But then I need the other one. So what we actually need to do, the battle actor is eventually going to have the data of who it is, not the enemy. So this is actually so instead of returning this, oh god, this is going to be horrible. This is going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible. Someone's going to shoot me for this. And a battle actor. Yeah, that's terrible. That's just truly awful. No, we really can't do that. That is terrible. How do I keep track of who they are then? How do I keep track of who they are? Questions in chat. Oh yeah, Mr. Shoji. Yeah, if someone asked how to mute tabs. Yes, Chrome used to have it. Chrome used to be able to mute tabs, and then they switched to mute a whole site. And we're like, wait, what? I wanted to mute just a single tab. And then, like, they don't even have it as an option. How are you able to interact with the game using C#? Does the game listen to this? No, yep, we are actually looking directly at the memory of the game. Yeah, the memory is the API. Yeah, we are looking at exact memory locations and reading values and writing values straight out of the binary of of the running process. So we connect to the process and just make changes or read memory. It's fun. Okay. How are we gonna do this? So I want to check this, but I need the battle actor and that value for each one of these. Maybe I do an individual, maybe I change the way this works for this one, and I do it one at a time. And I say, or I could combine them. Could do that. And then we'd be doing a select. No, because that'd be based on the new index, not the old index. Yeah, but how do we, how would we get that value? How would we assign it on here? Yeah, I don't know if any enemies change their position in battle or not. But yes, you're right. If that kind of thing happened, we'd have some major problems. There are a lot of things to think about to alter the game like this. Okay, so... Yeah, but this isn't 9 or 10, this is 7, so we don't have, they didn't do as much of that weirdness in this one. Yeah, no, they may still have done it, but they did way more weird stuff in 9 and 10 than they did in 7. Oh, is that helicopter something? Is that actually is that an enemy that comes in technically or something like that? Oh, there you go. Oh, could you imagine if we hasted that thing? Hey, Rex, welcome. Alright. How are we gonna do that? I could join them. What if we join them? What if we join them? What is this as a list? What is this value? What is this? It doesn't know what that is. Okay. Do I need the selector in here? I thought you do it afterwards. Do I have to select from it first? What's join complaining about? What did I miss? Yeah, it doesn't. None takes 3 arguments. But. Oh, because I wasn't in there? Okay. That's the key, isn't it? And then the result selector. Yeah, that has an enemy as a battle actor and returns Yeah, okay. I don't know why that wasn't, I don't know why that wasn't coming up for me. Crimson Green, hey, welcome. Who? I have no idea who. What are we talking about? I don't know the full details of the invitation, but Safer has multiple ATBs, and I imagine that's a multiple enemy thing. Yeah, no, Safer Sephiroth probably is just multiple enemies, would be my guess. But in terms of the Safer application, yeah, browsers are a weird thing. What's this? What's this? There's color. Oh, yes, exactly. What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. I think you were outside of the brackets before. Yeah, I must have been. I think it was just IntelliSense giving me a weird... I think IntelliSense is having some problem because of this. Anonymous function signature does not take 2 thing. Was there not a version of this? I thought there was a version of this that took 2. No, there's no version of that takes 2. So, what that means is that I need to make a version of that has both. So this needs to be XI so then if we instead pass in this as the value we join to, then I can do and we'll call this value index. And we'll call this value, well, we'll call that one actor, and we'll call this one index. So then down here, this is going to be index. So now that makes sense. I grab the 2 keys for index, and then pass back that type. That makes sense to me. Oh, Mr. Shoji, good. Thank you very much for the auto host. Does help. Don't think I need to grab the indexes like that anymore because we're not using them, so we're just going to join these together. So this now is an IEnumerable of those, so if I to-list this, but I don't really want to to-list it because I want to select it first so that we get the right thing out of this, because I really just want the 2 tied together in a nice bow, and I don't care about because the index is on one of them, so I no longer need the indexes. So I need the enemy and the actor. And I want to name this, so we're going to use the type explicitly. So we're going to say enemy and actor. A list of enemy and actor. Okay. We'll call the targets targeted. So now I want to change the type of the parameter to be the one that I'm using, and then this needs to change as well to be the same return type. So this needs to be 1. And this needs to be 1. think I left an extra bracket there. Yep, okay. And then that. Excellent. There we go. And yes, just typing any color will change up my my display here. Targets valid is no longer key value pair. Var target, and it's not key, it's going to be the enemy, right? Oh, I don't need to grab by index because I already have him. It's just the enemy. I just need this here. Yep, target enemy. There it is. Okay, so in this one, this is var invalid target. We're going to say there. So that gets us the targets, and then we use them. We're going to say invalid target enemy words first. Applied status to enemy this one. I guess it's just target. Okay, so target that. I think we reworked that. Okay, so this is no longer value, this is actor, and that is actor and actor, which actually, this could just be, we could just be putting the target in here, right? Target, target, which got way simpler. Wait, possibly impure struct method called on read-only variable struct value always copied before invocation? Yes. Those are read-only. Yes. All right, we're going to try this again. Let's have a look. All right. I need to fix that menu color because that is awful. There we go. Oh, and my screen is not... Hang on 1 second. Thanks, Crimson. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, it totally does work. Alright, we're gonna try enemy statuses here again. So let's try our code again. We're gonna see how this goes. Whoops. Didn't mean to bump that. Okay. So first off, I'm gonna get some regens going on the party, just so they don't die. So let's do enemy poison A. Is that how we're doing? Did I do by index or how did we select them? Did I select them by word? I did. Okay. He's been poisoned. He is enemy A, apparently. And poison already affects him. Wait, what? Oh! Ah! Ah! What is going on? How are there 4 enemies? 5 enemies? 6 enemies? We might have a bug. Alright, so we need to confirm. I think we didn't confirm that they're alive. I think we didn't, since when we originally wrote it, we selected only the ones that were alive, but now we need to actually make sure that they are... Yeah, I removed that because I just did this, so when I pulled that, I didn't get rid of the dead ones. So this needs to check whether they exist before we say that these are the actors we're using. So those ones need to exist, and then... What did I do for alive? Yeah, and then we'll do alive. Where exists and alive. So we're gonna block all the ones that aren't alive. Yeah, we don't have revive yet. That is not a status. And I don't know whether we're gonna do like we might call it life. I guess we could do revive. I don't know. I don't know what to call a lot of these things. All right, so it's back up and running. So let's try this. Enemy. Haste all. Haste enemy A. There we go. That's better. Look at how fast he's vibrating because he's hasted. And he's taking 0 damage from poison. My guess is he's not supposed to be able to be poisoned. I forget how poison works in the game. But my guess is that this guy is basically immune to poison. I don't have the cure versions in there yet, Crimson. We might do that. Yeah, he is a machine, so it makes sense that he's not going to take damage from poison. Hang on. No, Mr. Shoji, that frog, that is a frog. That is not a machine. That's a frog. Frogs are not immune to poison. Sorry, I had to, because it'd be funny. Yeah, Techno Frog. Yeah, that's a robot frog. No, that worked out well. Braver. Just the idea of doing a peerless on the enemy. Oh, yeah. The awesome thing there, Crimson, is that the game recognized that the battle was over. So that means that new check of the enemy being dead is working right, because you couldn't do that yet. Demon Wall is the same. You can inflict poison on it, but it's immune to poison damage. Yeah, it makes sense, but even if you frog him, I bet. Just funny. Excellent. That worked surprisingly well. That is definitely not ready to be, like, on yet, though. How do you code or create the graphics? So the game already exists, so we don't need to make the graphics for the game. Like, we're not... Yeah, so we're not really making the graphics. So... Yes, it probably is just immune to poison. Yeah, so the game is just... This is just Final Fantasy VII, the original, like, version. This is the PC edition. But then we just do stuff to the game. Yeah, like that. Wait, I'm so sorry. Is it not Is it not running? Is it not connected? It's connected. Why didn't that work? Are those not colors? Those might not be colors. As in, like, one of those might have been... Yeah. One of those was not a color. Who dares? Nice! Nice! Oh, man. You tried to pauper me. That's just not nice. Alright, everybody. You want to see what Pauper does? Because he tried to do it. He or she tried to do it. I don't know. Here's what Pauper does. Are you looking at my money? I now have 2 gil. Let's look at my items. I don't have any items. Look at that empty collection of items. Let's look at my equipment. Huh. I seem to be back down to basic equipment. Let me check the magic of this character. Wait, how do I still have Ice and Bolt? I don't think I should have those right now. Oh, no, wait, no, yeah, no, because maybe it doesn't let me remove them? Oh, because it, I should have lost them. It might be because we're in the starting part of the game? Yeah, so the materia menu not being there is because we're not past the tutorial yet. But I should have lost the equipment. I should have lost the materia that was equipped to the Buster Sword, unless something about being in the intro is changing that. So... Is there a crimson green menu color? I don't actually remember, Grim. Is that... Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's that, I guess. Weird. There's a pauper bug right now? Oh, man. I need to fix that. I can't have a pauper bug out there. Alright, hang on 1 second, everyone. I got a text message a little bit ago that I should check. Hang on. Okay. Initial enemy status command. Oh man, that's some big changes. Alright, so what is this? Nothing in game actually changes the materia workings. You can enable the menu option here, the bit flag. Wait, you think you found the names, Mr. Shoji? If you found the names, that is going to be neat, because I would love to have enemy names, at least to be able to mention. Or as alternates to people specifying like A, B, C, D. The problem is, like, it's easy with the 3 characters to say top, middle, and bottom. Yeah, well, no, Mr. Shoji, I also remove the equipped ones, I thought. Do I not remove the 2 from the Buster Sword? I thought I removed all... Hang on. It should remove all. Remove weapon materia. Yeah, remove armlet materia. That's where we start. First thing we do is we remove weapon and armlet materia. Hey, Nate. Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub. Welcome to the stream. I think that happens as part of the change the equipment is basics, right? No, so I separately remove all that first. So normally when you change someone's equipment, I remove all the materia beyond that, but then I also pull out any of the extras as well. I'm gonna go with Casio. Welcome, thanks for following. Welcome to the stream. And if anyone else is in here and hasn't hit the follow button, do be sure to do so. Who dares? Hey, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. Yes, the Pauper. Yes, everybody loves Pauper. And S&B showing off the big reason to subscribe to the DevChatter channel is, of course, the fantastic Chatosaurus emotes. Like that one. I checked the remove function currently changing. Eclipse doesn't remove the materia. Yeah, there might be something wrong with that. Hey, Crimson Green! Thank you for the 100 biddies! Remove weapon materia. Okay. Keep 0. Who followed? Mr. Smashy, thanks very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yes, the follow and sub train is a chuggin'. So the memory addresses of that character's weapon materia address is the initial address. Read that out as the bytes. So, okay, so it moves this, so it moves the material, so the way that we're doing that, so I remove all the weapon materia. Keep 0. Normally that's based on the number, so when I think when you pass in keep, it's based on the number of slots. So keep should be the number of slots. Yeah, linked slots plus single slots is the number that you keep. Which means that the starting point is... So that's going to be 0 times that. So it's going to start us at 0, increase by the item size, and while it's less than... the total number of bytes, and that's going to be 4. And on weapon materia, that is going to be 32, so 8 times 4, yep. So that makes sense. What is this? Does Popper work at the battle square in between rounds? I hope not, who dares. If it does, then we should probably fix that. Yes, right before a weapon battle is absolutely the time to do it. It's one continuous battle? Okay. Yeah, because if there were ever a point where you were out of battle, then you could potentially do it. You hoarded some dark chocolate. Crimson Green, keeping the bit train alive. Thank you very much for the 100 biddies. Yeah, I think that should be working. If we're saying remove all, it starts at the beginning. Hang on. I'm going to do this. I want a more normal scenario. So we're going to be out here. And we're going to do a popper from here. So we're going to see... I turned it off. I was like, why is that taking so long? That should have happened already. It is not my birthday. It's not even the stream's birthday. The stream's birthday was a month ago. Which, by the way, our stream has had its second birthday as of last month. So, because I started this stream... when did I start streaming? 2018, early 2018, I think? Yeah, February 2018. Pomper is an evil command. That is totally true. Okay. Yeah, look. See? It did remove the materia. See? See? It removed it. Told you. Nothing. So it is something to do with the tutorial, the beginning part of the game. There must be something strange with the state of the game at the beginning that makes it so you can't remove that stuff from Cloud. entertain you for a second? What, you need me to like do like a song and dance routine or something? Crimson Green's command, is it not? I don't know if that bot's running. Bot might not be running. Yeah, bot isn't live. King me! Get some stuff back, Popper in the menu, and go straight to magic, not to the materia menu? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that. So this is, materia, restore, materia, fire. Okay. Restore and fire. Okay. So we should see stuff in magic now. We'll pop her again. Okay. Magic. They're here. Mr. Shoji, you're correct. That's the issue. Is they really were de-equipped, but the game didn't check and adjust that menu until we went in there. And yes, happy Pi Day, everyone who celebrates it based on, this ordering of month and day. Popper doesn't recalculate the rest of the RAM. Yes, exactly. So there's a couple of other spots that it does not recalculate, which makes me wonder if it would still let us use those ability in combat if we didn't look in here, which would be a great question. So we're going to try that. So materia, restore, materia, fire. Materia fire. Okay. All right. We switched. I switched materia to names. It was either over the weekend or this week or something. It should be the 31st of April. It also could be what would you guys say? You would say the 3rd of April or the 3rd of January in 2014 was... or no, the 3rd of January in 2004? Yeah, 2004 or something like... Yeah. Brain stopped working. That was like, how do they do it? They do day, month. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. So I need to popper this character. Run in here. So I have definitely not gone into the menu. I've not checked the materia menu. I just need to see, do I have the ability to use any magic at all in this battle? If I do, then that means that we have a problem and I need to figure out how to refresh that. I do have 2 gil. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Nope, I don't have the ability. So I do lose the magic, even though it's still going to display in the magic screen. So I would call that a bug that is not worth fixing, because I don't care that that screen still says it. You got to put a number in there, Crimson. No, he was dead. Oh, dang it. That could be, yeah. Let's have a quick look. Don't open materia, just look in magic. Yep, it's gone. Okay, well, either way. Hold on, arguments. I want to do a couple of things. First off, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. I had a fantastic stream, and I am hoping you all did too. I thought that was some really cool stuff that we built today. If you are new to the stream, first off, I want to welcome you and say thank you for attending and joining with us today. If you had fun and want to catch our future streams, the best way to do that is to click the follow button, and you'll get notified when we go live. And also, if you want to talk with us outside of the stream, the best way to either know what's going on and also engage with me and the rest of the community and just talk about interesting stuff with other people is to check out our Discord. There is a link to our Discord in the chat as well as down below the stream. It is really the best way to talk with any of us. We have discussions about stuff that we're doing at work, programming. There are people that are professional developers, there are people that are beginners, there are people that are still in school, people that are just interested in programming, there are gamers. It's a fun group of people that are very welcoming, so if you are interested in chatting with us and being involved in the community, you are more than welcome to do so. Other than that, I want to roll our credits and thank everyone for hanging out today, and thank you, Stony Smurf, for that follow. Crimson Green, thank you very much for the, I think, 200 biddies. And Crimson Green and SB and Mr. Shoji, thanks for hanging out as moderators in the chat today. I want to thank these wonderful people who I probably mentioned when they followed for following the stream today. Thank you very much for joining us. And to our subscribers, House Bazoo, Crimson Green, Native Kent, and Who Dares, thank you very much for subscribing to the stream today. I had a lot of fun writing that code. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And we will be back very likely for next Saturday. If I ever am able to get a weekday stream, the best way to make sure that you don't miss that one will be to either be following this stream here on Twitch and have the alerts enabled, or to check out our Discord, because I will message the Discord chat before I go live, or like as I'm going live. And I usually mention in there that I'm going live that day. So, best way to make sure you catch these streams is that. So thank you all for hanging out today. As always, these will be recorded and sent up to YouTube at some point eventually. I'm a little behind on that, but if you did miss the beginning, there's also going to be a highlight in Twitch. So feel free to take a look at that, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy coding.